What's going on, YouTube? It's Mr. Ferguson here once again. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day today. Thank you for tuning in to this quick Monday video. I'm filming this last second. We just got in from Southern Virginia going up to see my great in-laws, Mr. Bill and Debbie, and their son Palmer, who is currently, as I'm probably filming this, still working on their roof. We had an awesome time. They were working on that. I actually got to go to a local course that I love to go to play. While I'm up there, I filmed some with this GoPro. I'm not going to show you. I'll put some clips here. Had a great time by myself. I try to talk my little one into riding with me, but got there, hardly anybody there. It's a mountain course, cow pasture type course, very short. The greens, though, are very well done. The guy that, I don't know who it is, but the guy that takes care of them, they're like a bent grass or something of that sort. Very sandy, firm. They roll well. I enjoy playing the course. It's different from here in central North Carolina. You got more hills, mountains. It's just a different style course, and I enjoy it. Shot the best number in my life. Granted, the asterisk is, you know, it's a very short course. And when I mean it's a very short course, it's a par 70, but also there's a par 4 that the tees were up, I guess because it's fall, it's getting cooler in the morning time. But there was a par 4, 201 yards. Like, that is ridiculous. I messed up my tee shot on that. I used a 4-iron, messed up my tee shot there. Kind of curled. I tried to hit a cut shot. It kind of curled around the front bunker. I actually hit a great bunker shot, made a birdie on that hole. But then I put down on the tee box when I mishit it. I threw down another ball, hit it right on the green. I was putting 12 feet for eagle. I mean, that's silly. But it's a very short course. A lot of 300, 304, 294 par 4s, and if you're a golfer, you know what I'm talking about. It's just very short. So if you hit a good drive, you're using a wedge. So that's the caveat to it. But I did shoot a 75. So with the driver, or with the 3-wood, or with the 5-wood, or with the 4-iron, and then using wedge and chipping and putting, I shot a 75. So give or take. Anyways, let's move on from golf because I know it bores some people. I just quickly want to show you guys what I did prior to going to Virginia. With lack of content here to show you on a Sunday afternoon. Typically I hate filming on Sunday afternoon. I'd rather be resting, getting ready for work this week. In addition to coming back from Virginia, we as a church, it was a great message. We went to a guest church up in Southern Virginia, and it was wonderful. Guess what they preached? Talking about sowing seed, the seed falling on good soil, not rocky soil. There was a guest speaker. It was a lady that presented a guest message in absence of the pastor, and she actually said, "Why do we plant in fall?" I had to go look it up, and believe it or not, it says for the rooting system that we need to plant in fall for roots to develop for when a tough season comes, we are rooted. And I'm like, that's right. And at the end, I had to tell her that we had a little YouTube channel. We deal with fescue and grass all the time. But we've talked about that here on my channel a lot. It's not only true for lawn care, it's true in our spiritual life. You must be grounded. If you're not grounded in the correct things in your life, which is Jesus, then when tough things come in your life, you're going to go nuts. You're going to look for answers, and you're not going to have the foundation in your life. So not meaning to preach, but it was a great message. So speaking of that, at our church tonight, tomorrow, and Tuesday night, we're having guest prayer services. I don't know if you guys are plugged into church. Clearly you live in the same world I live in, and many of you are in central North Carolina or the surrounding areas. This is not getting political, but we're in a nation that needs a lot of prayer. We see what's happening. I don't need to go through all of that. And I know people have differing opinions. But if you were to ask, 100 people, I believe 95% of those 100 people would say we're heading in the wrong direction. And it's my view and my belief, as long as I have the freedom to speak about it, it's because our nation has ditched God and continued to do our own thing. We don't need you no more, brother. And so we've just kind of kicked God to the curb. I am a unique person that I do lawn care, but I also speak boldly for Jesus, and I'm not ashamed of that. So we're going to be having prayer services at our church. I would encourage you, if you're not having prayer services at your church, that these elections are important, not only on the national level, but in your local levels. What are you doing? Are you being involved? Pray for the right leaders and go and vote. So without all of that said, for those that are now still with me, let's take a look at what we did before going to Virginia. I just want to show you things keep getting better each and every day. So I'm running out of battery on this GoPro, which will be a first, but I cut, guys, at 3.5 inches before I left. It was getting scraggly. Miss Ferguson's like, you need to mow this thing. And I am getting more and more impressed by the day. So we got the sun right above us here. It's shadowy. We're about in need of more rain. It looks like over here, I've got my glasses on, it's hard to tell what's real and what's fake, but it looks like we are getting kind of thirsty over here, which is crazy. I came out here, I've told you guys all that I've been doing, but basically it's just, first of all, it's crazy how a mow changes everything. I told you I put down fungicides, saw different comments. I know that we definitely, multiple areas of the lawn, it's not just the kind of fungus that comes and goes. We've had tons of water. I don't know how better to put that in perspective for you guys. I mean, day after day after week of rain, fungus was a part of that. And it's not the fungus that's just coming and going. I mean, it's dollar spot. So I truly believe we definitely need to apply fungicides. And even after mowing, I've seen different spots in the lawn. So regardless of that, it's looking really good. I told you I spiked a little bit of that propiconazole spray with a little bit of CK, a little bit left of Azoxy, and also some green pop, which is a very minute, very small amount. But it does look like it might have touched up the nitrogen just a hair. We still continue to deal. We do have some germination in the Equinox tracks right here. So guys, I took matters into my own hands. I took her parking spot. That's how I chose to handle it. So now I've got to watch this other area over here. Just kidding, I love you. But you can see the tracks, and so trying to get this established before I get yelled at or divorced. But anyways, you can just see the track marks there. So we're just trying to get germination. I did throw out some more seed up here with my daughter before I left. Each morning we're getting that dewy grass. As I've told you, it perks up in the morning. And so throwing out some seed, I watered it real well before we left. So we're just continuing to watch and wait. And it is filling in. But I just want to remind you, Mr. Ferguson, why are you working so hard to fill this in? It'll come. Yes, but the threat and the things that I fear the most is all these areas where we see bare areas, something is going to fill it in. And if we don't continue to push for the good seed to grow there, something else is going to grow. And we're talking about Poa triv, we're talking about Poa annua, we're talking about garbage weeds, and cool season weed seed germinating, and we don't want that. We want good fescue here. And so over here we continue to look pretty good. I don't think I see germination necessarily in our good old seed bed by the mailbox yet, but I see seed, so that's good. I need to go ahead and wet it since it hasn't been wet today since I got home. So I'll do that after I'm done filming with you guys. We continue to work on these areas here. You can see where I mowed. I made some tire tracks down there, and we got some new paper down there, of course. People suck sometimes, littering in my, anyways. So we've got spots, but point being, every time I mow it, it's looking better. And with the sun, it's kind of difficult to get a good angle here, but just look. If you just stand back and look at the 5,000 foot view, as people say, or whatever, look at that picture. It's looking great. But we still got a lot of stuff over here. We're as somebody said rightly in the comments, we are our own worst critics. So a lot of this still needs to be repaired, seeded. I continue to do it. A lot of the and kind of looking at this, guys, up on the top right corner next to Mr. Brandon's truck up there, way on the opposite side, there was a bunch of germination, a bunch of baby grass come up, but it's all brown now. It's like it got fried in the warmer September weather. So it did germinate, it did pop up, but the roots, again, what we were talking about in church, the roots were not established. It fried it up and it's gone. So I'm having to reseed. So again, we need to seed in the proper times. We proved that with our little test. And here in the shadowy areas and the wet areas that I did wet also before leaving, we're seeing germination in most of these little holds over here with a lot of seed on the ground. So I have no doubt that we're going to be fine over here in these areas. They're looking better. They are honestly looking better. Now that we've dried out, now that we've got all the water out, with the sun naturally drying everything out. We got to mow on it so the sun can dry it out more. I see germination, and I think we're going to be fine. So that's really the gist of it. We're looking great. We did a mow and everything is looking spectacular. We just need to continue to mow, thicken up, and prepare until we keep mowing. And we're going to be loading this bad boy up, as I mentioned, with HCU for Halloween. Maybe 7 days or so before all the kids hit the streets and stuff like that, we'll load it up and we'll throw on the striper. And I'm getting more and more excited at striping this lawn because it's starting to look better and better. So with all of that said, thank you for those who did stick around. I know everyone has different opinions, and some people are going to go away, I'm unsubscribing for your channel, I don't believe in that crap. That's totally fine. You can find plenty of lawn care people who believe whatever you want them to believe, and that's kind of the problem with our nation. You can go find whatever church you want to believe in as well, and I choose to continue to believe in the Bible, the way, the truth, and the life. But that's just me, so you do you. But God bless you guys. Thank you for those that stuck around. Give the video a like if you enjoyed it, and hopefully Wednesday we'll have an update for you with what's going on with the project lawn. Take it easy. See you next time.